All right, guys, let's take a look. We are on Monday, April 20th. Again, your objective is I can explain the informational research project and success criteria. So today our goal is to just see what does a project look like before we plan our own and start making our own. My directions are number 1, watch the screencast, and number 2, fill out the Google form. So if you're watching the screencast, good job, right? You did that part. So let's look at the other two pieces together. If I click here, I'll get my sample project. And then if I click here, I will get my informational checklist. I am going to start with your informational checklist. So if I go here, it opens up and looks like this. This is how your project will be scored. So this is a good way to kind of work backwards, knowing your end result. So very similar to what we've done in our writing. We've seen these rubrics before. This one will be for your slides that you make, okay? So the first one is lead, which means your introduction. So did you write an introduction that kind of grasped your reader? This one talks about transitions. So do you move from one idea to the next smoothly? Does it make sense when you move from one idea to the next? Do you make connections? This one talks about the ending. So your ending is really important because we need to have some sort of closure when your topic is done or when your presentation is done. Okay, moving down to our second page, we have a couple more things we're going to think about. This one is on organization. So did your ideas come in an order that made sense? Was it clear that, again, you had different topics in there, you had different questions you were answering, or ways to answer your question, right? And were there transitions once again? This one is about elaboration. I know we've talked a lot about that in our writing this year, so do you explain a little bit of your thinking? Can we understand why you chose the information that you chose? Okay, and that has some more down here, so my information is understandable to my reader. Maybe I used different ways to organize, so not just one, but maybe I used a couple different options. Your next thing that we're going to be looking at is called craft. So when you think about craft, we're looking at ways that you present your information. So did you do it in a way that has some variety? Did you do it in a way that, again, makes sense? Are you using maybe different types of language in there, right, to help the reader understand what's going on? Same with craft here. So again, are you using the correct vocabulary that has to do with your topic? And then finally, at the end, like we've done before, we have spelling and punctuation. So we're going to make sure that all of those things are accounted for. And on your rubric, you'll notice for every single one of those topics we just went through, we have a not to, starting to, or excuse me, not yet, starting to, or yes, right? We've used these a lot of times. Not yet means no. I don't see any evidence of that yet. Starting to means yes, just a little bit. And then yes means absolutely that thing is there, right? So you are going to take a look at this. This is a sample project, right? So I'm going to kind of walk through this with you. And the idea is as you are walking through this sample project with me, you're thinking about how could you score it? How could you grade it on this checklist? Okay? Awesome. So this one is called Carbon Footprints in Our Planet. You can see that this is a Google Slides presentation. So this person's research question is, how can I make a good carbon footprint? All right. Now you might be asking yourself, what is that? So they're going to jump right into their information here. Number 1, boom, I'm going to teach my reader what is a carbon footprint. So basically a carbon footprint is the gases that your lifestyle ends up releasing into the world. It's CO2, and that is released by our air, the heat that we do in our house, when we turn on lights, when we cook food, a lot of our everyday activities, right? And knowing how much of that CO2 is emitted into the environment can calculate our carbon footprint. So the goal of this slide is to teach the reader about your topic, right? If you chose technology, they might not know what type of technology you're talking about. If you chose Fortnite, they might not know what Fortnite is, which is so sad, I know, right? But they might need to know, and you might need to give them some background, some BK. Okay? So then they ask a question, so what? How does this affect the world? So they bring it a little bit more personal to the audience. And it talks about if there's too much CO2, well, the population the air could be polluted, which could affect the overall population. There's climate change or global warming, and there's also a lot of potential health problems that come with that. All right, so then they are going to use the research that they did, and they're going to move into more topics. So one of the things that this person read a lot about was technology. So this slide teaches about how technology contributes to CO2 emissions. So it talks about how your phone and your computer and all of those things do create CO2 as we're charging them and using them. And it talks about how they can, if you limit what you do each day, that can significantly help the impact of technology on the environment. Then this is really cool. This person chose to make a graphic for each type of technology that they use in their life. Again, a lot of this came from the articles that they read, but we talk about phones, video games, and television. All of that is talking about how CO2 is emitted with those three things, but a really nice visual here to kind of break up the information. Okay, then they went into this and talked about what are 4 simple ways I can help. I know my face is in the way there, but it says help. And it just breaks up the information really nicely into 4 categories. Again, this came from the articles that they read, and we'll get there next screencast, right? But this one's talking about, okay, I can avoid plastic, I can conserve energy, I could try to waste less, and I can buy sustainable products. It gives 4 very easy kind of solutions or answers to their bigger question that they started at the beginning. And then at the very end, their ending has this kind of last piece. So ultimately, just being mindful is what you need to do in order to help the environment. The more you know, the more you can help. And the last slide is going to be a bibliography. So yours will be very similar to this slideshow, except about your topic instead. And the idea now is that you're going back to our Google form. You're going to open this up, and you're going to go through and make sure you fill this out. Grade this project based on the informational checklist. So you may want to have this pulled up as well, but just what score would you give it based on the project that we went through, okay? You can pull up all of these things together, spend about 5, maybe 7 minutes grading this, and then submit what you have. Thank you.